ring is in the middle, so they just go and propose. And the lady, as she accepts the flowers, she just sees the glittering ring.
For lifestyle, I am Vivian Shane.
Thank you so much for that wonderful piece, just setting us in the mood. Today we're talking about flowers and occasions, something that most people do not understand, something that most people get confused when you go to the market and you want to shop for flowers. You don't know what to pick, what is right for which occasion, and so many questions that we are having right here in studio. You could be having a question about flowers and occasions this morning. We want you to send us that question or any opinion that you have concerning the topic of the day at Safina_Ching at GM Kenya KBC. The hashtag remains GMK KBC. We want to hear what you have to say concerning today's topic, which of course, joining me in studio, I'm having Sue Muriuki, the director of Divine Schools Africa. She's joined by two lovely ladies, Virginia Mwandiga and Femata Muniafu. These are floral experts. They are going to tell us more about flowers this morning, and just to understand how we can go to the bigger picture and have flowers embraced in Kenya and in Africa. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Wow. Let's begin by something we've noticed, we've observed in Kenya. The trend is that flowers are only used during either weddings and sometimes funerals in a very minimal extent. Let me throw that question to you, Sue. Tell us probably, why are people doing this? Why are people not appreciating flowers as much?
I think it's most people don't understand flowers, or most people haven't used flowers, or flowers is not part of our culture. From when we grew up, we were not using flowers. But this market is new and it's growing very, very fast. You talked about two places, weddings and funerals, but there's birthdays, anniversaries, hospital deliveries, corporate offices, receptions, boardrooms, homes. You know, the list is long where you can use flowers. And now that the market is growing, people are beginning to have an awareness that we need to have everywhere we have looking beautiful. Yeah.
You talked of so many places, but it's just very common during weddings and during funerals that flowers are a must.
Yes.
But in other occasions, people can go without flowers.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about that, and just to help people appreciate flowers more. And like you see today in studio, we are very, very, it's different. We've tried to set it up, and of course, later on in the program, we are going to be taken through a session of, you know, just how to make that wonderful centerpiece there in your boardroom, in your house, wherever, in the occasion that you're having. And the ladies are going to help us do that, Virginia and Femata. Yeah, but before we get to that aspect, probably let me ask you, Virginia, what are flowers for you? Why did you choose this path?
A flower is something that actually, for me, brings happiness to people's lives. So for me, being able to make something that can change someone's day, like for people, when you present someone with a flower, you can just see the mood change, see them getting excited, feeling happy. And I feel like a flower can also be something that you can be able to, when you're not able to express your feelings to someone, you can do it using a flower. So it's kind of a way that for those shy people who can't approach someone, if you have a secret admirer,
there are men out
there who can approach people. So yeah, so when
Use a flower.
exactly, you can use a flower to do that. So it's in so many ways, like it makes lives better for people. Yeah,
That's true.
And for you, share with us what you think of flowers.
For me, flowers are just a beautiful aspect of life.
Wow.
Basically, they just brighten up the whole room. They can change someone's emotion like very immediately. Like when you bring a flower into a room, it could change a whole ambience. That's what I love about
Like
flowers.
what's done here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Are flowers feminine? Most people tend to associate, when you talk about flowers or whenever there is some decoration that needs to be done, whenever we talk about flowers and, you know, you need to give someone a flower, it's more female oriented. Is it the truth? Is it that flowers are for women only? Virginia?
Not really. I think there's a perception that people think that women are women, even in the flower industry, it's mostly women. But recently, we actually, like in our school, the person who taught us flowers was actually a male, and was really good at it. So I'm thinking with time, people are getting more accustomed to the art of men getting into the flowers, and even like I guess in the giving of flowers too, it tends to be men who do the gesture of giving the flowers. I think women should also be stepping up. I think in the Western, you see like women giving flowers to men too.
Wow, can a man?
Yeah,
Can a woman give a man a
exactly.
flower?
I mean, if you admire someone, it's a gesture of it's a gesture of love, friendship. So I feel like if you need to express your feelings to someone, you can do it with flowers. It doesn't mean if you're male or female. Can be able to do it.
I haven't seen that much.
Yeah.
A woman give a man a flower. It's common that, you know, men are the ones who are accustomed to giving women flowers. But like you say, it's not a problem.
It's not
it's an expression of, you know, it's a message that you're sending to the person. Wow. So let's talk about the flower industry in Kenya.
Yeah.
Where are we at? So if you look at what is happening, where are we?
I think what's happened is that it's probably, we can say, in terms of export, it is a developed market. Because we attended the IFTEX exhibition a couple of months ago, and it was a very huge event. You know, there were very many growers. And the other thing that was quite unique was that 90% of the people we saw there were men who were growing, who were in the growing flowers. But when we come home, we find that these flowers are farmed where they are, and then they are sent overseas because we don't appreciate flowers. We don't know how to use flowers. We're not familiar with flowers. We think that flowers is for the upmarket. But I think that every Kenyan should be able to use flowers because they are our flowers. And 90% of the flowers in the world are grown in Kenya. But it's the foreigners who are experiencing and appreciating this market. So it's something that needs to grow, and we thank you for this program because it's giving people knowledge that you can use flowers. They're not expensive. You know, like most people think, all you need to do is go to City Market and see the prices. It's not expensive to use flowers. And like I said, it's across the board. You know, we just use flowers for funerals and weddings. But like she said, when you take a flower to somebody even in hospital, it brightens up their mood, makes them feel better. So there are so many ways we can use flowers, promote our local market, and just become happy people.
Yeah, flowers make people happy. And let's also talk about it's good that we need there is need to embrace the use of flowers, but getting to know what is the right type of flower for what type of occasion and who to give which type of flower, that is something that confuses many people out there. Probably let's begin with the types, Virginia. The types of flowers that are common, the type of flowers that you would recommend.
Okay, like in Kenya, I think the most common type of flower would be the roses, and then we have the carnations, and then we have the lilies, the tulips. They're very common in Kenya. And then, okay, for the occasions, probably, like, you know, different flowers mean different things. Even the color of the flowers, I think people confuse it so much. Because sometimes you would give someone you actually like, because for the red flower, it normally means, like, in all the different kinds of flowers, it normally means love, like a passionate lover or something. So when you're giving someone a red flower, it should be someone that you're actually attracted to. Okay. Yeah. So and then
like a patient in hospital, you cannot take.
Yeah, I don't think a red flower would not be appropriate. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So you can, like a patient in a hospital, you can probably give them the white flower, which means purity, innocence. It can be used for a patient in the hospital. It can be used for funerals too. And then we also have the secret admirer flower, which is the orange roses.
Really?
Yeah.
Secret admirer.
Exactly.
So orange is the way to go.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yellow?
Yellow normally symbolizes friendship. That's for the yellow rose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you guys are just friends in the friend zone, you can exchange yellow. Don't give them red. It will send the wrong message.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
And even the colors have a meaning.
Sure.
Yeah. So even when you have events, and you have a theme,
Okay.
you know, your color for the flower needs to go as well as the meaning, like Femata said. Every flower has a meaning to it. Yeah.
Like if the theme of the event was probably, let's say, an event that is dubbed to, you know, create awareness on issues to do with helping the needy in the society, what type of color would that go for? It's helping, compassionate, and that kind of a message.
We can actually have red because it's still in the spirit of love. Yeah, we can have maybe red, and then maybe the pink,
the peach,
and then the French, the peach. Yeah.
Okay.
Such an occasion.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's get to a more specific issue here. Talk about weddings. Somebody, a bride who is shopping for the right kind of flowers for her wedding. This one, I could not finish this topic without mentioning that. Lest I be crucified. So what tips, what advice can you give to such kind of a person? Because we are almost getting into the season, and now is the time when people are running up and down, visiting different florists out there to get to know what is in the market, what they can use. What can you tell us?
I think she needs to shop early, because not all flowers are available throughout the year. You know, there are times, there are seasons, there's season for flowers. So maybe you want a specific flower, maybe your wedding is in December. You need to know early whether that particular flower will be available. So it's good to shop early. Yeah.
Okay.
I also think that they should employ a florist or a floral designer who knows the meanings of the flowers, so that they're able to be guided through the process of selecting a flower for their theme and for their wedding, so that they don't end up bringing out the wrong message to people. Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the other side, where people get it wrong. Like where we are, like you're saying, Sue, people have really not embraced flowers. People don't understand flowers. Probably why? What are some of the things that we tend to miss, some of the mistakes that we tend to make?
I think it's just lack of education. You know, we've been training for the last 10 years in the flower industry, and I think we've really contributed to the growth of this market, because the more florists we've trained, the more awareness has taken place. So I think it's just lack of education, and things are not introduced to people early, like in primary school or secondary school. You know, you just come into contact with flowers when you're an adult. And at that time, you already have your degree or whatever, so you're not really interested in learning other things, because it's been a long journey. So I think if these things were introduced early to Kenyans, you know, from the...
Doing centerpieces, especially for like dinner, and you don't want them to be too high, so that when people are sitting across from each other, they don't actually see each other and get to talk to it. So you want to make it a bit shorter and to some level where people can actually see each other and talk to each other. Yeah, so you can have it at weddings, for the tables. You can have it at corporate events. You can have it at even at offices. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And she touched on something to do with balance, the need to have balance.
Yeah.
Apart from the balance in terms of the amount of flowers, talk to us about the balance in terms of the color of the centerpiece. Like today I'm seeing you have plain pink. Tell us a bit about probably when somebody wants to do different colors for a centerpiece.
Like up and down. Like this one, we have different colors.
For the different colors, it tends to be about what you want to bring out. Like if there's a particular message you want to bring about, first of all, the colors, it's, how do I explain it? You have to use the knowledge of a color wheel.
Okay.
So that you know which colors can balance each other.
So that you don't color clash.
Yeah, you don't want to color clash. It's just like dressing up in the morning. You don't want to wear something that would make you look like a clown. The same thing with flowers.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and just to add on that, even when you're mixing the colors, you need to make sure that they're in unity. Like you can't put like you can come, if we had like a pink and maybe yellow roses, we can come and put like a pink here and then another yellow here. At least even if you're mixing up the colors, you need to make sure that they're uniform and at least they're balanced from each side. So that they can actually bring out a better, the focal point, and the look can look better, like in uniform and everything. Yeah.
So if it were, probably if I was correct now, my creativity, if I wanted to, spice up the centerpiece that you're making for me today in
Yes.
my set. If I wanted to use white and this pink, would it work?
Absolutely.
Is that available?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, with flowers, you can. It's just your imagination. You just let your imagination run wild. You can do whatever with. You can even mix like different kind of flowers. You can have even lilies here with this. You can have carnations. You can have. I mean, it's just how your imagination runs wild. Yeah, you can have as many
as you want.
as many as you want.
Probably, Sue, as they do that, probably for people who are on a budget and they're trying to come up with a nice setup for their occasion, and they're on a budget and they feel like natural flowers all over would be very costly. An advice of how they can go about it, you know, have the flowers and what else they can use to make sure that they spice up the whole place. Because I'm trying to imagine having centerpieces on every table and everywhere and filled with flowers and all that. Probably somebody would not be able to.
But you know, Safine, like these flowers we brought today, this bunch, it just goes for 100 shillings. You know,
The
just
whole
to,
of it.
all this too is just 200 shillings worth of you know, Kenya shillings. So it's one, it is not expensive.
Okay.
You know, you just need to go to the market to understand it's not expensive.
and know
The other
for
thing, maybe you
yourself.
have, all of us have gardens in our homes. We have flowers that we grow. You know, we can use that as centerpieces. We don't have to use the traditional roses, carnations, you know. We can use other flowers. You know, there are people who have homes and they have flowers in their gardens. You pick those flowers and arrange and have the balance and do the color balancing, and you have a good arrangement. Yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of budget, you know, I don't know any other way I can answer that question, because when I think about the expense, you know, if you go to City Market, you'll find some really good flowers and at reasonable price. Yeah, you just need to know when to buy them, you know, not to buy them when it's peak season, and what to buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you use the natural flowers,
Yes.
any other alternative that you can, you know, mix it up with the natural flowers?
Yeah, you can. I think the experts here would know. They can mix it up
Actually,
with.
like whatever we have here, these are like dried flowers. So like this, they even last longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just artificial, like some artificial things. Like this, I think this is the like this is the normal stick that people use to sweep the house with. So and then you just find like a round. You can. It's just big. This is not even like a real flower. It's artificial. It's a broomstick, and then even this one I think is like
Creativity.
This is
yeah,
what? These are dried flowers.
dried flowers.
And these ones last for a long time. So
They
if you
don't-
don't
they
want to
never-
use
So you
fresh
can
flowers.
reuse and reuse.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can make like this arrangement. You can bring it down and make another
This
arrangement.
looks like grass.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
grass and then it's dried.
Wow.
This is
I've had dried flowers in my house for about a year.
Yeah.
So you don't have to buy the fresh flowers every week. You can just buy dried flowers. They're slightly more expensive, but they last forever,
last
as
longer.
long as you know how to
Okay.
arrange
also,
them.
There's also that other aspect, probably you can tell us how to preserve the flowers. You find that some people go into, I could use an example of somebody who the event is in the interior part and they cannot be able to access the flowers on the day of the occasion. So they purchase their flowers a day before the event. And sometimes you find after they've been stored for some time, they start to kind of wither. So on that day, it becomes like it is not serving the purpose that was intended. And how can you preserve flowers to make sure that they maintain that, you know, fresh aspect of it?
First of all, the flowers should always be in water.
In water.
First of all, you have to defoliate them, and then you keep them in water. Even if you've done like a bouquet arrangement, you keep the bouquet in water so that the flowers always remain fresh, because they need the water to preserve them. You can also use flower preservatives, but they're a bit expensive, so most of the time people just use water. Yes.
and also definitely the aspect of drying, because when you dry flowers, they last longer, so they can be dried. You see, even like these days, people can even color. You've seen like purple roses and people color the flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, for when someone would want maybe for their wedding, they want like maybe purple roses. You know, you can't locally find
It's
like
not
it's
easily
not easily
available.
available. So most of the time, normally dry them and then you color them. Yeah. So that's
So
what
that
I
is,
do.
make sure they're in water, soak them in water, and the other aspect is, of course, to dry the flowers.
dry the flowers, yeah.
Okay, and Natural versus artificial. When would you recommend what?
For me personally, I prefer the natural flowers because they have the scent. They're just very beautiful and natural.
What you're getting.
Exactly. So I would always recommend them like on a daily basis, especially if you want to like keep things changed. But if you want something that will last for a very long time, I would opt for the dry flowers. Or if you have a type of arrangement that can't use natural flowers, that's when you can use the dried flowers. Yes.
An occasion without flowers, Virginia.
Whoa.
How do you describe it? An event that
Without flowers. Lifeless. Boring. Yeah. Because I mean, why would you have an occasion without flowers? That would be the question to ask. I mean, the flowers, like in Kenya, like she said, a bunch of roses is like 100 bob at City Market. Why would you not want to have flowers in your? I mean, they make everything better.
They make everything.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, Sue. You talked to something very crucial. We export more. We export more. Why do we do that? And then probably where do you see us in the next, with what is going on currently in your industry, where do you see us in the next, say, 3 years? Where will we be? Will that export culture be curbed? Or what advice would you give?
I think even the farmers themselves had not really thought about the local market, because when we speak to them, they tell us that it's more economical to export than to sell locally. But I think that's changing, you know. Like I said, when we visited the last flower exhibition, and a lot of them were actually, they started thinking that, you know, actually we can start thinking about the local market. And it's important for them to do that, because we are, what, 40 million Kenyans? And imagine if we get to all understand flowers, our children are taught about flowers, our adolescents and us as adults begin to use flowers, there'll be a huge market, maybe to a point that they'll not even need to do that much of export. And like I said earlier, you know about export, the foreign markets, they are very volatile. Things change. We're going to an election year, maybe there's a disease, your flowers are not wanted anymore. So it's important for us as Kenyans to really focus on what we have. We have such a great wealth of resources in this country, and one of them is flowers. And flowers are beautiful. They make an event, they change a mood. You know, they just brighten up a place. You know, they say so many things. Yeah, so instead of just using them in funerals and weddings, it's time that we started using them in our homes. It's time we started using them as we are transacting with one another. When you finish a business deal, say thank you with a bouquet. You know, when you're going to visit a friend, carry a bouquet, you know, a bottle of wine and a bouquet. I mean, that's really nice.
I like what's coming up. I don't know if you
look
can
at
just show us.
Yeah, so
I like the way it's coming out. So natural.
So what we've used
easy.
here, like this, we normally call them the fillers. You don't need to use the greenery. So you don't normally have to use like a whole, because if you wanted to fill up the flower completely, we would use like maybe 3 bunches for them to be completely filled. So it's also economical to use the fillers. Like these are called leather fans. This green, plus they bring out the color, the green and the pink,
and the
natural aspect of the flower.
It looks like it is still attached.
Yes. And then the white ones are called gypsophilas. They're also flowers, but they're also used as fillers. Yes.
Okay.
So you want to present this to...
No, I don't think it's ready yet. It is. Almost. I'm preparing myself to aspect was where you see us in the next 3 years in terms of the flower industry, the acceptance of flowers.
I think it's going to grow, and those who know about growth need to get involved. If you see now, there are more... if you walk around the streets, even in the estates, you're beginning to see more flowers vendors springing up. Right now, you see a lot of them in the upmarket neighborhoods, but I think as we continue, they'll also trickle down to the other neighborhoods. Because, like I said, flowers are not expensive. They are grown here. You know, we grow most of them here.
We sell them
we sell them overseas. So I think it's important that we as Kenyans begin to start using flowers. And I believe in the next 3 years, it'll be a total change. We have trained so many florists. And when they go out there, they have a market, and we continue to train them. So obviously the market is ready. You know, people need to get informed. People need to become exposed. They need to be comfortable about using flowers. We need to stop thinking that this market is for the rich people. It's not. It is for every one of us, and we need to start using flowers on a daily basis. And if fresh flowers is something that you don't want to deal with on a daily basis, get the dried flowers and let them stay in your house and let your house look beautiful. Let your office look beautiful. You know, we went for an event a couple of weeks ago, and there were no flowers, and the women were complaining. This thing does not have a feminine touch. Really? So it's important to have that flowers up there, because like we said earlier, it changes your mood. I mean, look at the way you're brightening up as you see this flower coming up. You know, it's like there was nothing, and then it's all coming up, and it's coming all well together.
Like there's a breath of life.
Exactly. You know, when you get it, it does something to your internal, and that's what it does. That's why we have flowers on top of coffins. You know, to help the mourning become less, isn't it? Can you imagine a coffin without a flower on top? It look weird, right? Yeah, or a bride without a bouquet. You know, she look. Yeah, she look.
That wedding.
Yeah, there are no flowers in church. There are no flowers at the reception. I mean, it just looks a bit. There's something wrong, but you can't really say what it is. But the flower, it's like an unexplained feeling, Safin. You can't explain the feeling, but it definitely does something to you. So I think in the next 3 years, 5 years, we will see a change. We will definitely see a change. I'm sure the next time you have a program, I saw you guys also had a flower here.
Yeah. We did.
Yeah, you had a sunflower. You had a beautiful sunflower here.
That's sunflower that you should
have. So you guys also appreciate flowers.
It's symbolic, waking people up.
Exactly.
And,
you see you.
Right into the whole thing. Yeah, so for people who want to grow flowers in their maybe small farm area at home, tell us probably what do they need?
All they need is space.
That's all they need. Can it be grown anywhere?
Yes, actually at home we have pink flowers, pink roses, just growing outside my bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Good.
So what do they need apart from space?
And someone to take care of them. Roses need a lot of care when they're first starting out. So they need someone to always be there to cut the stems, for them to grow and grow and grow and grow. And then after a while, they just tend to produce themselves. Yeah.
Okay. So the centerpiece is ready.
Yes.
Just hold it up for us. I hope you can zoom into it. Just hold it up so that they can zoom into it and tell us, explain to us now the whole thing, the whole process is completed.
Yeah, so now this is the centerpiece. This arrangement is called the round arrangement. There are a couple of arrangements. We have the triangle, we have an inverted T, we have the vertical.
It's completed.
Yeah, so now this is the centerpiece. This arrangement is called the round arrangement. There are a couple of arrangements. We have the triangle, we have an inverted T, we have the vertical. So many arrangements, but this is normally the common one used for the centerpieces. Yeah, it's very simple to make, as you've seen. Yeah, and very fast. You can make it at home, anywhere.
You can make it before you go to work.
Where you can use it, places where you can use it.
As I said before, you can use it like at weddings, like on tables and stuff, like for dinner, setups, centerpieces. Yeah, for like a dinner, for corporate events. You can even use it at the reception. Yeah. Even here at your table.
Yeah. So this is for us.
This is actually for you.
Let's clean up and set it up. All right.
This is actually for you, Safin.
For me, wow.
Yes, there you go. May you have
honor. On behalf of Martin and Samuel, my co-host right here, we received this on GMK today. I don't know how we are going to preserve it, but you told me we make sure we water it.
Yes,
How long can it stay?
About a week.
About a week.
Yes. About a week.
So
if you keep watering
we
it.
have this and we water it and make sure it's okay. Well, thank you so much on behalf of our crew right there on GMK. So we set it up right there. Right there. So our centerpiece is ready. Look at that. Look at what it has done to the whole place. Flowers are very important. They breathe life. That is why, like Sue says, they are used even in the saddest of events, like funerals, like somebody who is sick in the hospital. Taking to them a flower, there is something it does. lack of flowers also, there is something it does. She says
Absolutely.
you cannot point a finger to it, but you see and you say something is wrong. The coffin doesn't have a flower, something is wrong somewhere. So flowers are indeed very important.
That's true.
Let's get to, as we're about to bring this to a close, let's get to the aspect of the need for people to understand the colors to give men. You told us it's not wrong. Yeah, you told us it's not wrong for somebody to gift a man with a flower, but they're very sensitive in terms of the colors. So an advice, a man, which kind of the type of flower first, the type of flower, rose, lily, whatever, and then the color also to consider.
For me, my favorite flower is a daffodil, but they're not locally found. But to gift a man, maybe if I have like a crush on him or something, I would give him an orange rose. If it's friendship, a yellow rose. If I love him, a red rose.
She goes in level.
Yeah. But of course, if you're just starting out, maybe if the person doesn't know like your intentions, you can start small. Start with the yellow for friendship. And then you can go up to the secret admirer. Maybe the message.
Eventually. Red, now you're daring.
You're disappearing.
Yes. This is now you're speaking out your feelings directly. The aftermath, like in case things don't go well. I heard in the Western world, people use flowers to communicate a message or it's over.
That's true.
So is that something you can also talk about?
Yeah, we can talk about it, but I don't think that as a nation we're ready to be using flowers to send sad messages like those. I think we're just starting out with communicating happy messages. Things, So
when you break up with someone, you don't send them flowers.
You don't send them a black rose. You can send them a black rose.
No, but just kidding. No one wants to receive a black rose.
Exactly. I mean, flowers are too pretty to be sent.
Exactly.
To be used during sad occasions and like for sad things and
aims. And
exactly. Yeah.
Wow. I like that. So let's also talk about the issue of trying to change this whole culture of it's a women's affair. It's a women's affair. There needs to be a feminine touch in the room. So let's use a flower. How can we change the minds of people to start thinking that flowers is not just for women alone. Flowers is not just for the grown-ups alone. It can also be used for kids and all that.
If you look at the flower farms, most of them are owned by men. Let's start from there. When we went for that exhibition, 90% of the people were men. If you look at the famous florists or the leading florists are men. So I think we need to have a change. You remember like in the hairdressing industry long ago when it was just for women, and now the men entered and you have excellent hairdressers who are men. It's the same thing for flower arranging, where we need to have everybody understand that this is not a women's affair. Like if you're in hospital, it doesn't mean that if you're a man you cannot receive a bouquet or an arrangement of flowers, isn't it? When we talked about coffins, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, we still put a flower, isn't it? When you're at the wedding, it's both for a man and a woman, we still have a flower. When there's an anniversary, it's for both men and women. So this is not an industry that is just for women. It is an industry for all of us. And that is something that people need to understand and not shy away from, that these are women things. So if you even look at the source or the genesis of where the flower industry is, it's actually with men. So we need to bring that message across and come into the flower arranging and to the flower receiving. Like we said, you can actually give men flowers and for the men to receive it and not faint when you get a flower from a lady, So it's something.
And can men give each other flowers? Like a man and a man?
I think they can. It's only that in this culture of ours, we don't like to accept such things. But I think it's all about the attitude. If we change our attitude towards flowers and everything that we term as feminine or masculine, we'll be able to forge forward.
Exactly.
Yes.
So a man can give a man a flower,
Yes,
a
there's
lady
no
can give
harm.
a man a flower.
Anybody
Yeah.
can
There's
give a
no
girl
harm.
a
Take
flower.
time.
For the man and
people
the
start
for the man and a
seeing
man,
that,
now
That's
that
right.
I'm not so sure.
Might
But unless maybe
communicate the wrong message.
yeah, might communicate the wrong message.
Which message? It could be a
Unless-
yellow,
exactly.
a yellow rose.
Okay,
for
unless maybe the
friendship.
person is sick and then you're taking them flowers at the hospital, I think that would be appropriate.
But let's accept
wait,
it.
but where does
Let's
it say
accept it.
Safid?
It's still something that is not very common.
Exactly.
It's not
Finding
common.
a man holding a
Holding a
bouquet
bouquet.
and taking it all the way to another man.
man.
It's still not very
It's
common.
not.
Though it is not wrong.
It's not
like
wrong.
what
No.
we are
Yes.
saying today. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
So how
You see,
do
it's
we
the
change
message.
this culture? That's the question. But
do we change
it's a journey. It's
Yes,
a journey,
it's
and
a
we need to
journey.
change our mindset concerning associating flowers to the feminine side. It's something that even the male can also learn to appreciate. When is too much? When is too much flower around? Like, I'm taking an example of somebody who has gifted a lady with the office full of flowers. You've seen that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody decides to buy
over.
all a bunch of red roses and they fill it in your office. Or, you know, something like that. When is flowers? Is there a time where flowers can be too much? It's too much decorated, Virginia.
Personally, I don't think you can ever have too much
No.
flowers. But I feel like maybe in the professional setting,
Yeah.
if it would make other people uncomfortable around you, so I think maybe there you can minimize it up. But if it's your house, you can fill it up to the door. It's no
Once
problem.
it's a
it's never
wedding.
too
Yeah, it's
Never
never
too
too
much.
much.
So-
In fact, we don't have enough.
You
Exactly.
never have enough, absolutely.
So where do we get this information? Somebody wants to learn about flowers, to know yellow means this. Today is not enough. Today can never be enough. So somebody wants to know where can they be getting this information in the near future? Let me begin.
Well, they can start with us. We've trained for the last 10 years. And we've trained a lot of men in flower arranging. So, like she said, our trainer is a man. And we at Divine Schools, we've been here. And you can come to us and we'll train you. Because we train you on 14 different arrangements. We train you on dried flowers, draping, decor. We train you about funeral flowers. It's the whole package.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what helps. Now, the more educated florists we have in the market, the better the market will be, and that will force the rest of the public to begin to understand this market, because they'll go and educate other people.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's, like you rightfully said, we're in the journey.
We're in the journey.
In the
and
journey
we-
of-
we're gonna get there.
And even
Yeah.
for the meaning of the flowers, it's online.
Yeah.
If you just
Meaning and
Google,
colours.
yeah, and
Yes.
colors, you can get
And the
everything
types
there.
of
And
the
the types of
flowers.
flowers, it's all there.
All right. Let me give you a chance to give us your final words, the two of you, before we bring this to a close. Let me begin with you, Virginia.
Well, for me, I would say that going to learn about flowers and getting into this business has been like the best thing for me. Because normally I was in the 8 to 5 job, and then I decided to just do something that I loved. Since I started doing this, I've never regretted it a day. I enjoy what I'm doing every day. It makes me happier. I'm a happier person. Yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So,
Nice.
yeah. So I say do what you love. Yeah.
Okay. And you?
For me, I've always been a happy person, I would say. I'm in the TV industry. I'm still studying. But ever since I learned how to do floral arrangements and events, I feel like my life has a lot of purpose. Because I'm able to wake up in the morning and know that, okay, if I do an arrangement today, it could make my mother happy, my grandmother, my friends, everyone who I interact with. And it has given me a chance to also get to know about something that I already loved, but now I know it in depth. Yeah.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, Sue, your final.
I think I just need to tell Kenyans that we need to start using flowers. You know, flowers are for us. We grow most of them in this country. That means they're ours. And those who want to learn, they can come, we train them, and the rest of us who don't need to learn can begin using them. And that will grow this market and will make everybody happy. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. I like the aspect. Flowers are associated with happy things. You know.
Happiness.
You're trying to bring out the life in people and all that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I've learned one or two, like the colors: red for love, yellow for friendship, white for purity, and that was orange if you have a crush on someone. So you can use the orange to do that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Keep on learning, go online, keep on learning about flowers. Let's embrace flowers. Let's appreciate the flowers that we grow in our nation. Let's see flowers being given as gifts in occasions and all that. Thank you so much for keeping it. Good morning, Kenya. Let's play that piece about flowers again. Let's get ourselves into the mood of just understanding the flowers before people like us hit your screen. Keep it. Good morning, Kenya. My name is Safin Aching Oma.
I'm here at the city market in Nairobi, one of the most popular places for buying flowers. My main mission here is to unravel the mystery behind flowers.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out.
For years, people have used gestures and symbols to express feelings and pass messages. Flowers are featured greatly when it comes to sending messages. A single flower sent to a person speaks volumes compared to a letter or a telephone call made to express love.
Okay, we normally make all different types of flowers, especially the arrangements. We have different arrangements. We have flowers for birthdays, we have for funerals, we have bouquets, the one you just take and give a friend. We also have office arrangements. We do all sorts of flowers.
It's no wonder that flowers are rich with symbolism, mythology, and even debate. But with so many flowers to choose from, one marvels which is the right type and maybe how many to send.
Currently, like today, people really value flowers mostly. Because if you look like somebody, if I want to appreciate you, in most cases I might go to a supermarket and just don't get anything to give you. But I can go, just come and buy a flower, give a friend, it happens. So people have really learned a new way of appreciating people. Also, if I visit you in your house, I just come with a bouquet. Also, when you've delivered a baby, I come with a bouquet. So flowers are very important in our daily lives. And also, some people, like the doctors say that when you go and visit a patient with a flower, it's a process of healing. So it also begins there. So that's why you see people have really improved in that.
While rose flower is the most popular flower, there are others which can be used to send deep messages as well. For instance, carnations can be found in a wide range of colors, and in general they express love, fascination, and distinction. Above all, every color carries unique and rich association. Daisy flower, on the other hand, portrays innocence and purity. Rose flower, depending on its color, sends different and unique messages.
Commonly, people know the red roses. Actually, even people call a rose, they know a rose is the red roses. But the red roses, they symbolize love. We have the pink roses that symbolize appreciation. We have the white roses that symbolize purity and peace. We have yellow roses for joy and friendship.
In almost every event, flowers are used for beautification. Other than this, they can be used to convey the message of the whole event. John has been a florist for a better part of his life. In almost every event, flowers are used for beautification. Other than this, they can be used to convey the message of the whole event. John has been a florist for a better part of his life. He has coined creative ways of ensuring the message is properly communicated.
Let me say it has sustenance. We normally sustain ourselves with it. Because actually, even me, I was educated from this business. Because actually didn't start it. It was started by my father, and he's the one who's been running it for a long period. And until I cleared my high school, I went to college and I graduated, and I came back and continued doing flowers business. So let me say it has a good income that can actually sustain someone.
After all is said and done, the next time you think of buying a flower, then you consider the event, type of flower, and the reason why you're sending it.
I have seen that. I have seen people buying a flower for, they are proposing to somebody for marriage, hand in marriage. Sometimes they do some a bouquet of red roses. Like if they're doing a big thing, it's like an evening dinner. They actually hide the flowers from the back and actually just present to the lady. And I've actually modified it. Sometimes I just put a rose in the middle, and the engagement ring is in the middle. So they just go and propose, and the lady, as she accepts the flower, she just sees the glittering ring.
For lifestyle, I am Vivian Shane.
The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand. Besides pride, discipline, heart and mind, confidence is the key to all the locks, and St. Mary's Yala School's rugby team banks on this analogy to conquer their opponents.
I am known as Otieno Arnold Omolo. In this team, what drives us through is the discipline the players have, which we discuss during our meetings, and the various talks we have in the meetings that make us correct on our mistakes and also find solutions to our challenges. And if the challenges are beyond us, we communicate to the coaches or the game master, Mr. Mukok, who finds better solutions of solving them.
The rugby captain Arnold Omolo, popularly known as Musafa, talks on how he coordinates with his team players and school administration to ensure smooth running of co-curriculum activities within the school.
I am the captain of Yala Rugby 2016, and my role in this team is to act as a link between the administration and the rugby players. As the team captain first, I come to the pitch first and make sure that everybody is here. And well, the latest time of coming to the pitch is 4:24. We only give them 4 minutes since the bell rings at 4:20. And 4:24, we go for 4 laps around the pitch. Then everybody heads to the gym. We have a gym session of 30 minutes. After that 30 minutes, we come back to the pitch and do departmentals where we perfect our skills and correct on our mistakes. And we get to train the kickers and the scrum halves, the halves, to do their best in the specific, because they are the main people in the team. And also, after that, we do the game, which is going on as for now.
The long-installed culture in the school team keeps them on toes to ensure the stipulated program is followed with ease.
Well, it has been a culture that even without the coach, we have a program of training, and it really helps, and that's the advantage we have against our team. So the gratitude goes to those who were here earlier, because we came here and found it, and we are still making it to continue till now. That's why you can see that there is no one who is even coming to tell us what to do.
Arnold explains how leaders within the institution help them achieve the best.
We have a field captain. We also have officials who do their roles. Like there's a gym leader. There is a chaplain who makes sure that the players' spirituality is up to par. Well, there's also the field captain who gives us the calls. And then the captain is the general who makes sure that everything is running smoothly.
St. Mary's Iyala rugby players are being inspired by former players who include Lavin Asego and Patrice Sagunda, who play for Kenya Rugby Sevens.
There are many, I must agree. There is Patrice Sagunda, Lavin Asego, there is Eden Agero. Yeah, and they are playing for the Kenya team. So that's what keeps the players motivated to reach far as a co-curricular activity in St. Mary's School Iyala.
Here, he talks of the pride of good performance level posted during the school games competitions.
The last time we were position 2 in the regional level, and the other year we were position 3 in the regional level.
And I want to understand, and I believe that you know something about rugby. But earlier on, remember, Safina Ching was taking you through, you know, flowers, occasions, and meaning. And I have a flower here. I'm told this means admiration, and somehow it resembles my tie. So I want to ask that you keep me company and admire the way I'm going to present the news all the way to about 20 or so minutes to 9. And you're not going to be disappointed. This flower, by the way, is called centerpiece. Centerpiece. So from today, I have some expertise when it comes to matters flowers. I don't know how an expert in flowers is called, but I'm going to inquire. Let's do news. My name is Martin Wanja. Keep me company. Former Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission Director Justice Aaron Ngera is regretting the infamous 2003 judicial radical surgery, which he superintended. Ngera, who appeared before the Judicial Service Commission panel conducting interviews for the new Chief Justice position, said, though he was not remorseful over the reforms that led to the sacking of 23 judges and 82 magistrates, his only regret was the decision to publish and publicize the names of affected persons, subjecting them to public ridicule.
The former Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission Director and a chair to the 2003 Judicial Radical Sanctuary Committee faced the JSC interviewing panel as the search for the new Chief Justice entered the 8th Tuesday. But his past came calling, pricking his conscience almost 13 years ago.
I could see that the excitement was more palpable in your moving towards the executive as opposed to, you know, being a judge.
If you become Chief Justice and another job falls out there, you will not abandon this judiciary and move there.
Leaving Chief Justice to go where? If I left Chief Justice, I would not even practice law as in any capacity. I would just be undignified, retired Chief Justice.
It is his role in the so-called 2003 radical surgical on the judicial officers that left 23 judges and 82 magistrates jobless that proved a battle of Waterloo to the retired judge.
All those names were splashed in the newspapers. I'm not saying you did, but they were splashed in the newspapers.
I would say it was completely wrong, completely wrong, completely wrong, manifestly so, to publish names of judges, of magistrates in the press without according them a hearing in the first instance.
You did not use the word allegations, you did not use any other word, but you used the word they were infected with the corruption virus. Was that necessary?
I apologize for strong language and inappropriate language.
Having admitted all this, do you still say that this was your high noon, the implementation?
I feel no remorse whatsoever except the adverse publication of names. I feel no remorse whatsoever. All of them who wanted to be heard were heard.
Justice Ringera, who at one time worked as a Solicitor General, told the selection panel he would introduce open-door policy at the judiciary, where the staff would have a say on the day-to-day running of the institution. He, however, said his tenure will not exceed 4 years.
If I became Chief Justice, I wouldn't have a long term, a long tenure, mostly 4 years. So at least I would aim in those 3 years to see that we have leveraged on technology.
Ringera's application to become the next Chief Justice was initially rejected by the JSC, but was saved by the High Court after it directed that all applicants be interviewed without discrimination. Principal Administrative Secretary in Deputy President William Ruto's office, Ambassador Daniel Waisiku Wambura, faces the selection panel Wednesday. Samson Kitavi, Channel 1 News.
Thank you, Samson Kitavi, for that report. And remember, the interviews are continued this morning, and Samson Kitavi will be keeping a close eye to just let you know what to expect today. Also, ODM party leader Raila Odinga's tour of Kakamega County entered day 2 with a call on area residents to remain steadfast in their support for the Orange Party. Raila took a swipe at the Jubilee government's development record, saying that it has failed to deliver on its pre-election pledges. The CODCO principal at the same time dismissed the yet-to-be-launched Jubilee Party, terming it a non-starter that will not alter the support of the opposition, as Achola Simon reports.
Raila Odinga's tour of the Kakamega County entered day 2 with the ODM leader calling on the local community to remain steadfast in the Orange Party.
Raila ni mjukuu kwa 13 na Bongo Wanga. Sasa mimi ni kabila gani?
He reiterated that the CORD coalition will remain united and that Kenyans must not be distracted by the continued grumbling in the party over who will fly the coalition's flag in the next year's poll.
Mimi nataka tufanye namna hiyo. Ndani ya CORD tuko pamoja. CORD ni boma, lakini ODM ni nyumba. Leo sawa? Leo sawa? Tuko pamoja. Walipiga kura pamoja kabisa, hata kwa rafiki yangu
Raila is promising real change by instituting sweeping reforms in the police service to ensure the informed officers offer services rather than engaging in criminal activities. The co-principal is in Kakamega County for a 5-day tour aimed at consolidating his support base. He opened several ODM grassroots offices and received at least 3 grassroots leaders who defected from UDF to ODM as he seeks to reclaim his foothold in a county whose support appears to be waning. Achola Simon reporting for Channel 1 News from Kakamega County.
Thank you, Achola Simon, for that report. And I'm told that the ODM leader today will be somewhere in Makunga, that is in Kakamega County, and Simon Achola will be following that particular tour closely, so that he lets us know what will be happening later today. Now, embattled Nyeri County Governor Nderitu Gachagua is accusing Nyeri members of parliament of theft after they led their supporters to storm his office following his impeachment by the county assembly. Gachagua is accusing the legislators of stealing crucial documents that he would have used in his defense when he appears before the Senate. The Senate is expected to convene for a special sitting today in which they are likely to set up a committee to probe the allegations leveled against Nyeri County Governor by the county assembly.
A day after MPs from Nyeri County led demonstrators to storm the governor's office chanting anti-corruption slogans,